Tony Stark is really a person rebuilding himself, redefining himself. It was an interesting progression from where we left it last time, because last time he said, I'm not going to make weapons. Well, what has he been doing? Well, what he's doing is he's trying to bring people together, and he's trying to look forward to a brighter future. And I think Tony takes it a step further here, brings about the Stark Expo, continuing the tradition his father started, the aspect of his father that was not involved with making weapons and blowing things up, but instead looking towards the future. It was the Walt Disney aspect of Howard Stark, who saw technology as a portal to a better future. But that dream had subsequently been abandoned after '74, and that World's Fair type of expo that he had organized had been left fallow, and now Tony decided to take on that mantle and decide to bring about the expo.
When this whole thing started, we had this moment from, I think it's like Iron Man Armored Adventures, which is like our kids series, and it was Stark World. It's like giving this like Macworld Steve Jobs type keynote speech, and it very quickly went from like this one little image to this gigantic expo, and next thing you know, Mike Riva, our production designer, has a guy drawing buildings, and you see all these like huge wide shots, and people are photographing Flushing Meadow Park from above in a helicopter, and you're like, whoa, 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 how did this all come together so quickly?
Everyone is coming to the New York World's Fair. They're coming from the four corners of the earth. There's the symbol of the fair, the Great Unisphere.
We've modeled it on the famous 1964 World's Fair in Flushing Meadow.
John being literally from right across the street, he literally was from Queens, in his apartment right onto the site of the 1964 New York World's Fair. So he has a love for it.
And this is the whole thing with this is I grew up literally right across the street from this right here.
Yeah.
And so when I see this come, I never saw the World's Fair for real. It's really fun doing this. It's particularly interesting watching these plates that I'm so familiar. I know all these views, except for the helicopter stuff, and then see what you guys are doing with it. It's really fun.
He grew up not far from that giant pavilion, which we called it, which is actually was called the Tent of Tomorrow. We ended up designing pretty much the whole flow of the chase and all the stuff that's in the end of the movie. And once you've done that, you figure out what all the things you actually have to have. Then you start breaking it down into what you're actually going to build. Illustrations we do models. You try through all those different ways to explain exactly how these pieces fit together. Because they're so massive, you can't build them all in one place. You have to break them up a little bit here and there. So we ended up breaking up the stage.
The interior Tent of Tomorrow we have to build because there's not a set that had that kind of video screen or size that we needed.
I love the ironettes. Did you see those girls?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whoops a daisy. 1, 2, 3. That's it, Kyla. 6, 7, 8.
Tony has spent a small fortune on recreating this Stark Expo. He built it greater and bigger and grander than anyone could ever have imagined.
The set's very impressive. We build the interior. We're going to build the promenade. We were lucky to find this up over the dam.
Part of the movie magic for the expo and going to all these different locations was that we would take some of the same elements to different locations.
The dressing has to kind of flow from one to the other or whatever.
It is not just being on the ground. There's a lot of aerial work that goes into those sequences, too.
We're doing some work with both our Spydercam and our mini helicopter, shooting plates into which will comp our CG Iron Man and drones that are for the chase sequence in the final battle.
Stark Expo has become the huge centerpiece in the film that kind of bookends the movie. We're going to all that much trouble. Well, then that should be where the finale happens.
There's a big sequence that happens as the drones are following War Machine and Iron Man.
The Japanese garden is a separate set in itself. We only built a portion of that.
This is the star of the film.
No.
That's right, the star of the film.
No. I'm just the man who stands next to the man. What's this piece of tech right here?
This is the War Machine helmet, without the faceplate, mind you.
Should we put it on? Show them how it works.
Are you ready?
Ta-da! Fight at the end. It's a combination of original design, existing buildings, building sets that we put together. Yannick, our visual effects person, that'll be his daunting task, and making it look like one location.
That's nice. That I like that, grabbing that zoom and him having trouble holding him in the zoom. All that's fun. So let's look at it. Let's look at it from the beginning. I let those guys off the leash, and the ideas just poured forth. They're just torrent of ideas coming at you with such enthusiasm. And they would say, "Dude, make sound effects." And then this happens. We're not shooting, and this explodes up. And it's just great. And I would just be charmed by it. I mean, yes, we'll do it. And everybody would say, "How are we going to do that?" I was like, "Don't we'll figure it out. We're not going to do all of it." There seemed to be an inspired current that was running through society where an interesting combination of a tremendous cynicism about the economy and where we fit in, but also this tremendous forward-looking, inspired mission that we were going to change the way we fit into the world and the way we interacted with our environment, with each other, with other nations. And the Stark Expo felt like it somehow tied into that. It felt like it was part of the zeitgeist. And that Tony was at the forefront of this film.